This morning the Lord asks us a very serious question, and that is simply, at what cost are you living the life that you're living right now? What's it costing you to live that kind of life? And let me tell you why I believe the Lord takes us there this morning. In Luke chapter 12, in verse number 20 and 21, the Lord begins to speak a very pivotal truth that we should all ask ourselves, because we only have one life to live. And as we're living it, one thing leads to another, distractions and all the other things, and we begin to make one decision after another. And before long, if we're not careful, we're living a life that we never really intended to live. In Luke chapter 12 and verse 20 and 21, he says this, "But God said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasures for himself, and is not rich toward God." Now we know the story of that man and how he used a lot of personal pronouns in his definition, in his proclamation of who he was and how blessed he was and all of that. But he's no different than we are sometimes if we're not very careful. Because somewhere along the way, it's easy to start believing that more will bring you happiness. More success, more money, more recognition, just more. The idea creeps in that reaching the next level, the next paycheck, or the next accomplishment will finally bring that satisfaction we've always been looking for. At least that's what we seem to tell ourselves sometimes. But let me tell you the problem with that. The problem with more is that it's never enough. Every goal that is reached is quickly replaced with another one. Every answered prayer, if we're not careful, is easily overlooked in the pursuit of something even greater. The chase continues, the striving never stops, and the idea of building a life that matters quickly begins to get out of focus. Then one day a simple but pressing question arises. What's this kind of life costing me? What are you giving up in your quest for more? What has been sacrificed in this endless pursuit for more? How many moments with loved ones have been missed in an effort to get ahead in life? How many times has time with God been neglected because he's been pushed aside because you couldn't find the time to slow down just for a few moments? See, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle, to justify it by saying it's just working hard and building a future. But the words of Jesus today in Luke 12 serves as a reminder to us that no amount of wealth or success will ever matter if you are spiritually bankrupt. If life were to end tonight, what would there be to show for your life? Would there be a long list of achievements but an empty heart? Maybe a house full of things but a life void of purpose? The question comes to you this morning. How much is enough? The truth is, there will never be enough if the wrong things are being chased. Money will never satisfy the soul. Accomplishments will never replace true joy. No trophies, no titles or possessions will ever bring the peace that only God can give you. So, this morning, I guess the real question is, what are you truly valuing in life? What are you really trying to build? Is the focus on storing up treasures on earth, where they will eventually fade away or be occupied by somebody else? Or is there an investment in things that's going to last, like your faith, your family, your relationship with God, the way you invest your life into other people? What really matters to you? No one wants to look back on their life one day and realize that their whole life was spent chasing things that never really mattered. No one wants to trade moments of laughter with loved ones for hours of stress over things that won't ever last. No one wants to stand before God and realize that while they were rich in earthly success, they were poor in what truly mattered. Because at the end of the day, if we're honest with ourselves, nothing from this world will ever be taken beyond this world, except faith, hope, and love. Faith in God and love for God and the impact you make on other people, now that will last. So today is the day you stop chasing what will never, ever satisfy you. Today is the day to trust that God is enough and to start investing in what truly matters. Today you be safe, you be strong, and you be blessed. And you ask yourself the question, what is the life I'm living really costing me? Have a great day.